Joining me now from Brisbane is Nationals MP and former Resources Minister Keith Pitt. Thanks for joining us, Keith. First up, I want to get you, as a Queenslander, I want to get your reaction to this news, breaking news about the Biloela family being given a permanent residency to stay in Australia.
Oh, look, I think everyone feels for the situation they are in. But what concerns me, and I'm not a lawyer, is that this is now potentially a precedent case that says you don't have to be a refugee, you just have to get here, no matter your means of arrival. And that is the bit that concerns me and always has. It's why there's always been very difficult decisions to make for immigration ministers in particular. And as you said earlier, we're now seeing more illegal arrivals trying to get here by boat. And what does it mean in terms of our legal system? Well, I guess time will tell.
Yeah, I just want to confirm that story now. The Australian reporting directly from the Immigration Minister, Andrew Giles, saying, following careful consideration of all relevant matters and options before me, I exercised my power to intervene in the case of the Nalasalingam family. So the government made a commitment before the election. It would allow the family to return to Biloela, and now they've decided to give them permanent residency. Now, you mentioned the legal precedent there, of course, Keith Pitt, but the other issue is the marketing opportunity this then presents for people smugglers.
Oh, it's certainly a great sales point. Get yourself to Australia and you get to stay. And I think that's always been one of the concerns. But every court in the land under our government had decided that these individuals were not genuine refugees. And that was why the government held the very firm position that it had previously. And they're tough decisions, Chris, right? They really are. No one wants to see people go through this, but this is our nation, and the government needs to keep it under control in terms of the arrivals, how they get there and who gets to stay. And, well, that's now up to the Albanese government. Yeah,
indeed. Now, let's get to the energy debate. There's some really disturbing signs at the moment. We know that climate bill got through the lower house this week. We're going to see even higher emissions reductions targets. Chris Bowen out there spruiking more renewable energy today. But the Reserve Bank says we can expect power prices to go up another 30%, up to another 30% over the coming 6 to 12 months. This comes as in the UK and right across Europe, really, but the Bank of England governor has said that the UK will be going into recession. And one of the problems there is steeply rising energy prices. We're doing ourselves real economic harm.
Well, this is the point that myself and a number of others keep making. What is this going to cost? How's it going to be done? And who's paying? You've only got to look at Germany. It's been waved around as the great flag waver for these types of policies for a long time now. They turn their coal-fired power stations back on. They're looking for gas, and they're in real trouble because Russia may well turn off the tap.
Yeah, well, this is the point. Energy prices are driving not only inflation, but they're also shrinking people's disposable income. And into this mix marched the former Labor Foreign Minister and former Labor Premier of New South Wales today, Bob Carr, mocking the idea that nuclear energy could be a solution for Australia. In fact, all the expert advice globally and in Australia says you can't get to net zero unless you embrace nuclear.
Oh, I think he's insulting the Australian people. I mean, I've got confidence in them to make their own decisions, their ability to be informed by facts and to be educated. And there's no way anyone's going to force a nuclear facility on a community that doesn't want it. But we're just saying that we think we should have a conversation with the Australian people. I think they're up for it. And it is the only way, in my view, that you can have something which is reliable in terms of power generation, which is 100% emissions free. And it is used right around the world, and this technology keeps improving. Why can't we just consider it? We're going to move with the AUKUS agreement to nuclear-powered submarines. We're going to have to build a civilian domestic nuclear industry in terms of technology and all of that support. We should look at these opportunities, but no one's going to force it into a community. That's just ridiculous.
Well, only a troglodyte would not consider it. You've got to look at the available technology. Now, just before I let you go, Keith, as a Queenslander, the rumours about the death of the Great Barrier Reef were greatly exaggerated?
Oh, Chris, who knew? All you needed was an Albanese government. It's a miracle. It's fixed. I mean, my colleagues have been saying that for years. I've been saying it. We read the reports. The reports say that the reef's been in great condition, particularly the southern part. And lo and behold, you only needed a few weeks for Labor government and all of those commentators have disappeared.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think Labor were already still trying to scare people about the reef being dead. I think I think reality has come through. We'll see how long it can last. Thanks for joining us, Keith. Keith Pitt there joining us from Brisbane.